Okay, everyone. So, wanted to share a quick tutorial on how to track a individual player, individual athlete on the Play Tracker app. So, the first thing you'll do is once you log in, is you'll see the dashboard, and what you do is you'll click View All Games, and eventually, this is where you will see all the games. Then you'll click New Game, and we can go ahead and type in. I like to type in who we're playing. So just let's say verse O'Connor. You can put in the gym or the location as well as update the date. This track point scored against us is defaulted as checked. And the main reason is as we keep stats, the tracking the points against us is going to be a way for us to use the efficiency rating, right? So the efficiency rating is probably the best way for a coach or a parent or an athlete to view how well their game is overall, right? So it'll track points for, it'll track the points against the player, it'll track shots made, shots missed, free throws made, free throws missed, steals, assists, everything that the stat tracker is tracking, it will take into consideration. And we have a specific algorithm or formula that we use to help determine the athlete's efficiency rating, right? So obviously, the higher the rating, the better, right? So once we've done this, we'll go ahead and create the game. And you'll see here that we have the game. Now, when we look at this, we don't have any players here yet, right? So what we want to do is we want to add a player. So we'll add a player here. You have a couple of options. If you already added players, you can add them here, or you can create a new one from scratch, right? Player's name, number, position, and the team if you'd like. For this example, I'll just put me and I'll put Athlete Apex as my team and I'll add myself to the game. So now there are multiple ways where a parent or a coach or an athlete can track their own stats, right? The first thing here you'll see is voice command. So when you click on this start voice command, it will now use your mic of the device, whether it's your phone or your iPad, and you can simply track the stats by talking, right? And here are some of the examples. You can say Reggie Alcos made a 3-pointer, 3 points against Reggie Alcos, or player number 0 made a 3-point shot and whatnot, right? So you'll track everything, steals, rebounds, all of that on here. So that's one way to do it, the voice. Another way to do it is by going to the player card. That's what we call these little cards here in the app. And the best way to do it, because if it's an individual, you only need to see one, is click on the full screen option, right? And then you will see all the buttons here. So you make, you miss, make a free throw. You can undo it here by clicking the minus button, steals, blocks, etc., right? Etc. here. 2 points against, right? So you can do it manually here by clicking these buttons, or you can still be on the player card. You hit this microphone, and then you can use the voice command option as well, right? So that's another option. There's other options here when we look at the traditional stat sheet or the iPad stat sheet. The iPad stat sheet really won't really work unless you flip the phone or use the iPad. But the traditional stat sheet is like this right now. It'll be easier to do if you turn your phone horizontal. But if not, you can scroll left to right and you can see just by clicking these buttons, right? The green is the make, X is the miss, the U is the undo, right? So you can click again, right? All of that fun stuff. And then you can exit out. And then once the game has been completed, oh, before I do that, you can see as the game is going live, you can actually see some of the stats here. Here's the efficiency rating. And let me move this out of the way so you can see how it's calculated, right? So you'll see points, rebounds, assists, all the positive stuff you're going to get added on. Assist is a multiplier of 2, a steal is a multiplier of 1.5, and so on here. And then once the game is over, right, you can edit, you can add the scores here if you'd like, the final scores on here if you'd like, and then you just click end. And that's it, right? You can then see here's the stats for that individual, and There you go. That's how you would track the individual. Now there are some other options you can play around with, but the bare minimum, the basics of this game is to excuse me, track a player's stats, and there it is right here. And then again, you can play around with it, right? So I'll have a few other videos coming in the future that will show you some of the other features, but this is the basic function of the app, right? Any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks again for downloading or using the app.